Rusty Lake, spring, 1860. James Van de Boom arrived at Rusty Lake. His uncle had just passed away under mysterious circumstances. James was his uncle's only heir. He had no idea of the events that would change his life. Summer, 1860. James rested in the empty old mansion. He found the axe in the fireplace, split the firewood and lit it, and in the warmth he fell asleep relaxedly. As the clock struck, the body of Uncle William fell out of the ancient standing clock. Summer, 1865. James prepared an ingenious marriage proposal to express his affection for Mary. He plucked a crow feather from the tree and with Mary's nosebleed from being pricked by a rose, he wrote, "Will you marry me?" He then took off a ring from a severed hand and put it on for Mary. The proposal was successfully completed. In the spring of 1867, James' wife Mary prepared for childbirth. The births of the 3 children seemed to foretell that each would bear a different destiny for the family. The firstborn, Samuel, was fed with his mother's milk at birth. The first daughter, Emma, sipped only the rainwater that fell from the sky. And the second son, Albert, drank red wine. In 1870, James discovered a secret hidden behind a bookshelf. That dark door silently swung open, revealing an ancient staircase leading directly underground. By chance, James stumbled upon a concealed underground laboratory and a notebook that recorded mysterious alchemical techniques. Following the instructions in the notebook, he concocted a potion reputed to grant eternal life. Trepidation, he first gave the potion to his dog, which drank it without any noticeable effect. Summoning his courage, James then drank the potion himself. However, he instantly collapsed and died. As fate would have it, one will find death, the other enlightenment. Spring, 1876. In the courtyard, James's 3 children were playing. Albert, eager to catch a butterfly, was beaten to it by Emma. After a dispute between the two, Albert was pushed to the ground, and his brother Samuel used a slingshot to shoot down a wasp nest from the tree, which happened to hit Albert on the head. Poor children, their future will be filled with pain, but their legacy is of utmost importance. 10 years later, the 3 children had grown into adults. Emma ground 4 mysterious flowers into powder, and after drinking it, miraculously became pregnant. That same year, she gave birth to a son named Frank. Samuel devoted himself to repairing the ancient family clock, during which he encountered the fortune teller Ida. Albert donned a mask and mastered sorcery. Summer, 1889. The soothsayer Ida perceived that the seeds of family tragedy were quietly beginning to sprout in the shadows. Nonetheless, she went on to marry Samuel and gave birth to their son Leonard. Autumn, 1891. In the courtyard, Emma's young son Frank was swinging while Albert, wearing a pumpkin mask, transformed into a vengeful demon. Poor Frank fell into the well. That same year, Emma frantically searched for her son Frank. She wrote a desperate letter. "If you are alive, look up to the stars. I will be waiting for you there." Winter, 1895. The family finally experienced a brief reunion, a wedding photo session. The family members dressed neatly. The camera shutter suddenly snapped in the silence, freezing that seemingly warm reunion an instant. Summer, 1896. Emma sits alone in front of an easel in the courtyard, with two figures sketched on the canvas. Overwhelmed by sorrow, she hanged herself. On a winter night in 1896, a seemingly innocent lying game quietly began. Mary, Ida, Samuel, and Albert gathered together, sharing secrets and lies through the game, as truth and pretense intertwined at that moment. Amid the light-hearted banter, an inconspicuous lie revealed Albert's long-hidden forbidden crush on Ida, and this illicit emotion stirred like an undercurrent within the family. Summer, 1904. The family members came together to form a family band, playing ancient instruments that produced one sorrowful melody after another. Amid this brief and fragile reunion, an ominous sound suddenly echoed through the air, as if all the harmony were torn apart in an instant. Overwhelmed by the unspeakable terror of that sound, Mary was completely struck down by fear and died on the spot. Albert donned that eerie mask and stood before the dim altar, launching a ritual steeped in dark magic. Using the forbidden voodoo practices passed down through tradition, Albert enacted a ruthless revenge against the soothsayer Ida and Samuel. He killed his own brother and sister-in-law, transforming their lives and eyes into sacrificial offerings, symbols of the profound curse that haunted the family. Summer, 1909. Albert commenced in vitro gestation in the dank underground laboratory. He handed a potato to the man imprisoned at the bottom of the well in exchange for 2 flints. Then, using those flints, Albert ignited an alcohol lamp. He filled a vial with his own seed, then poured Ida's egg and his seed in sequence into a funnel. As steam filled the chamber, his daughter Rose was born. Spring, 1914. Leonard decided to enlist and serve his country. Following the scattered blueprints on the ground, he hastily assembled an old motorcycle in the courtyard, using 4 parts delivered by homing pigeons. With the roar of the engine, Leonard embarked on his journey. Winter, 1918. Amidst the war-torn Europe, Leonard lost a leg. He often awoke from dreams, haunted by visions of his family consumed by explosions, carrying the psychological scars of war. Autumn 1919. Young Rose, gifted with clairvoyance, set up a seance board in the dimly lit manor parlor, to conduct a life-crossing communication with her ancestors.
Can you hear me? What do you need to live again? I will help you.
Autumn, 1924. In the courtyard, Rose discovered a paper airplane that had flown up from the well. She filled a cup with liquid and lowered it into the well. She trapped a fish, roasted it over a fire, and sent it down to him. Finally, she placed a wooden rod into the bucket and lowered it again. After a tense period of waiting, two weathered yet resolute eyes appeared at the bucket's rim. Frank, trapped underground for decades, was gently hoisted to freedom. Autumn, 1926. Frank and his uncle Albert engaged in a life-and-death game at home. The game begins. After 2 games, Albert won the game and took the crown, but Frank came up behind him and strangled his uncle to death, ending the game with revenge. Winter, 1927. In the night, Frank opened the bathtub full of hot water, and the hot mist instantly dispelled the cold. Frank took out the scissors and used them to cut off his hair and beard. Autumn, 1929. With the smoke of war dissipated, Leonard returned to the courtyard and decided to excavate the long-buried treasure. Using a spade, he dug into the earth and finally uncovered the tarnished, brass-colored old pocket watch, a fragment of time that had witnessed the rise and fall of 3 generations of the family. Winter, 1930. Frank came to the attic alone. He opened the bird-feeding bowl by the window, and Harvey the parrot came to the window with his mother's letter. Frank flipped through the letter his mother Emma had left for him and found the code in it.
My son, read my letter.
As the lockbox opened, the family's old silver pocket watch was revealed. Autumn, 1932. Rose and her loyal dog arrived at the family cemetery, where she used a shovel to dig up several family graves and remove a bone from the bones of each deceased. She then pieced together the bone fragments into a complete skeleton, revealing a bronze gold pocket watch. Spring, 1933. In the living room of the manor, Rose put an old record into the gramophone and slowly turned the handle, the mournful melody echoing in the dim light. Rose and Frank danced side by side, staggering between the elegant and the eerie. As the first dance ended, Rose opened the wall cabinet and changed into the dress. The second song sounds, and they dance. And when they dance to the end, the stylus unexpectedly breaks, and the silver needle cuts through Rose's fingertips, and at that moment, their figures freeze in the aftermath of loneliness. Spring, 1935. The family's final ritual began in the gloomy basement of the ancestral home. Frank, Leonard, and Rose were led to the old bell cabinet. As time slowly turned, Rose stepped into the depths of the clock cabinet, their bodies tightly wrapped around the living roots. The 10 sacrifices of the family were placed on the 10 scales in front of the altar in turn, and the twisted and intertwined roots descended from the sky to absorb the 10 offerings one by one. William's heart. James's tongue. Emma's tears. Mary's teeth. Samuel and Ada's eyes. Leonard's foot. Albert's brain. Frank's hair. Rose's blood.